Sad. Just for our sound effects in the background for those in that late fourth quarter. That was that was awesome.
Yeah.
I sideline report about
Yeah,
us on Whiteside.
yeah, yeah. Dalton was a big fan of your sideline reporting. Big Ryan about us on Whiteside.
All right. We have our last game of the night. And for our game ones in the first round of the playoffs, we have the one-seeded Milwaukee Bucks, as well as with the best record in the NBA regular season against the eight-seeded Orlando Magic. Now, Jonathan Isaac has decided to suit up for the playoffs after what was known to be a season-ending injury, but he will be playing. All right, and we're ready to go. Do you think Orlando stands any chance in this series, big game? Or even one game? Many analysts, especially our viewers, aren't even looking at them winning a single game in this one.
Um, I can see this as a clean sweep with how good the Bucks are and Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe as the big three. But one of the people for the Bucks that I think is underrated that people aren't going to be talking about until after the series is over is Dante DiVincenzo, a 3-and-D guard who can score at all three levels, and he'll be big. For the Magic to steal a game this series, they're going to need Vukovic and their good man Markelle Fultz, who got traded to the Magic after he was the number one overall pick and had shoulder problems. He's going to need to have a pretty big series for them to even steal a game or think about competing.
You know, if you're the Orlando Magic, you really just want to see him perform well in this series. You can't expect him to do too much, but as long as he's performing well, you'd be more than happy with that, as he was a former number one overall pick, but as a younger player who's been disappointed so far until his season with the Magic, anything would be great. Otherwise, Evan Fournier is going to be their key scorer in their starting lineup other than Nikola Vukovic. Terrence Ross off the bench as well as DJ Augustine are going to be the key players there. Who do you think, what's the key for the Milwaukee Bucks just to take this one in 3 games specifically?
Well, I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to have to just torch the Orlando Magic as he's torched the NBA this season. The MVP of last season has the opportunity to destroy a first-round matchup as he did the Pistons last season, this season with the Magic. And I think he has the tools all around him between Brook Lopez, Wesley Matthews, Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, and obviously their bench to really just take over the series and end them.
Now, one of the issues with the Bucks so far in the playoffs the past few years has been, well, are we going to see Drew Bledsoe or regular season Eric Bledsoe? Do you think he's finally going to get out of that rough playoff patch in this series?
I sure hope so, but we'll see about that. Eric Bledsoe is a smaller guard, strong, great finisher, not a great shooter, but can shoot at times, and is a solid defender. Is right away off the bat, we get a 3-second violation for the Magic, and it's a quick turnover, which is something you cannot have happen if you're the Orlando Magic.
I'd say one of the bright spots for the Orlando Magic this year has been Jonathan Isaac. He could easily be a future defensive player. Oh, and look at that start. Uh-oh, we're going to see a quick mean mug.
In this game. If you're the Orlando Magic, that is something you cannot allow. You cannot have a turnover followed up by a poor defensive rotation, allowing Giannis Antetokounmpo to get to the hoop for an easy slam. Vukovic misses the rebound, and here comes Wesley Matthews. And Matthews finishes. The Bucks up 4-0 early here.
Now, Aaron Gordon does have the athleticism necessary to guard Antetokounmpo, but I don't think it'll be enough in this series, as Aaron Gordon's jumper is just not strong enough as well.
Whoa, and a deep 3 there. No good off the rim. Evan Fournier.
Oh, it seems like they're clearing out for a mismatch. Bledsoe against Isaac, but we have Giannis in the post.
Oh, Giannis, a quick jumper.
And it is
that's good over Aaron Gordon. Now, Big Jake, I know you are a voter in the MVP category. Right now, who would you give the MVP to? Whether it be LeBron James or Giannis Antetokounmpo,
You
or an
know,
other third person that could possibly come into this situation that is out of nowhere. Although we do think it is a two-man race.
yeah, I'd agree with you on a two-man race. Earlier in the year, we might have seen Luka Doncic in that race and discussion for this, but he's an easy third place in this discussion. Both the one seeds in the West and East being the Lakers and Bucks. Antetokounmpo and LeBron James have had great seasons, but Giannis is per in only 31 minutes per game, even though we're moved to 6-minute quarters. Wow, we've never seen that before since the Wilt Chamberlain days. It's video game numbers, and that's why he was my pick for MVP. LeBron may have had a great week or so, especially getting those wins against the Clippers and Bucks during the regular season, but 1 week doesn't determine the MVP, a whole season does.
Well, and I agree with you wholeheartedly right there, Big Jake, is I think people try to make the assumption, LeBron in age, 34, 35 season should be an MVP. As Markelle Fultz with a nice steal there, and he'll
Wow,
he'll
great
miss a
defense
layup.
by
Eric Bledsoe with some
Bledsoe.
great defense. I think you have to put together a whole full season, and Giannis Antetokounmpo has done that and has become the absolute weapon in the NBA that nobody has wanted to see or face.
And that will be magic ball as Wesley Matthews tips that one out of bounds. Couldn't agree more with you, yeah. Eric Bledsoe actually was on first team all defensive last year, so especially one of his games during last year was taking on James Harden, a strategy the Bucks seemed to use from the Utah Jazz, as they would let James Harden go, wow, what's going on here? Before he just dribbles it out of bounds.
The Orlando Magic have had way too many bad missed shots and turnovers here in the opening quarter to even think that they should be in this game.
Back to Eric Bledsoe, as he was a great defender last year, specifically on James Harden. And there is a great passing by Eric Bledsoe as well.
Bledsoe to Giannis. We will be seeing more of that in this series. I can tell you that right now, folks.
Quick timeout
from the Magic.
Wow, Steve Clifford. To be honest, he's probably not too angry with the fact that they're down 5, but with this play and effort so far by the Magic, that is what he's angry at.
Well, and I can tell you one man who actually is mad is John Hammond, who left the Bucks and now is the Orlando Magic GM, and he's probably looking for some revenge in this series. And to have a start like this from his Magic team, he cannot be thrilled.
No, not at all, big game. And here comes the Bucks bench as we have Robin Lopez, Ersan Ilyasova, Pat Connaughton, Dante DiVincenzo, and George Hill, the NBA's leading three-point shooter. And
nice
on the Magic side,
Aaron Gordon.
We have Mo Bamba, Terrence Ross, who's been a key scorer off their bench, as they signed him to an extension of 4 years to $54 million, and DJ Augustine, as well as James Ennis, who they signed off waivers from the 76ers.
George Hill fouled there, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots. And DJ Augustine is a man to keep your eye on. He did hit a game winner in Game 1 against the Raptors last year, the defending champ Toronto Raptors, who lost Game 1 to the Brooklyn Nets yesterday in Game 1 of this first round. DJ Augustine is a man who can knock down his three-point jumper. Oh, and a block there by Robin Lopez. Ball goes back to Aaron Gordon. DJ Augustine has shown that he can finish games on his own. And so if the Magic can keep it close, they have a man to go to as Robin Lopez grabs that rebound off the missed shot. Up to DiVincenzo with a nice layup. The Bucks up 12-5 here with 1:15 left in this first quarter.
A lot of our bracket viewers have been asking, is there really any team in the East that stands a chance to beat the Bucks? Either in 5 games being the Pacers, or the Heat in the second round, or the Magic have a small chance of upsetting, but probably not going to happen. Or are we going to have to wait and see who faces them in the conference final 7-8 shot? Whoa, Terrence Ross stares down the Milwaukee crowd after not even looking after he made that 3.
Do
you think there's anyone?
Nice three-pointer there. But in my opinion, I think the Bucks' biggest threat comes in not to look ahead, not to discount out the Magic, but we obviously all know this series probably is not going to go the Magic's way. Oh, Aaron Gordon with a nice jam off the lob feed. It's got to be between the Pacers and Heat. Obviously, the Miami Heat have beaten the Bucks twice this year and have proven that they are a tough matchup for the Bucks, as Robin Lopez will be going to the line after followed by Mo Bamba. I just don't see the Raptors or Nets competing with the Bucks. The 76ers and Celtics have weapons, but again, in a 7-game series in the conference finals, if they get to that point, it's just hard for anybody to beat the Bucks in 7 games, and that's the Bucks ball going off of DJ Augustine. So I would, in my opinion, I would guess to see the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals this year.
Wow, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers are with you there. Oh, and here comes Marvin Williams as well and Kyle Korver off the bench. Now here's your key player, Dante DiVincenzo with a wide open 3. No good.
No, can't get down to fall. And the Bucks will be up 2 points at home at the end of the first quarter, 12-10 here at the Pfizer Forum. We'll be back for the second quarter.
And we are back at the Pfizer Forum as the Bucks lead the Magic 12-10. Bucks haven't really done much so far in this first quarter, but here comes Marvin Williams throwing it back to his Hawks days there.
Marvin Williams, hang on the rim a little bit, buddy. How about that? Getting up.
You know, he was really excited to be coming to Milwaukee after being waived by the Charlotte Hornets. He really enjoyed his time in Charlotte, but Robin Lopez with his second block of the game. He had a great time in Charlotte, but he knew it was time to move on to more of a playoff team. And there's the sniper, Kyle Korver. Doesn't matter how old he is, you know he could shoot. And good rebound by Marvin Williams as Aaron Gordon was hanging on his back almost, but here comes George Hill down the court. George
Nice
Hill,
being
and
rolled
that
there
one
by-
is easy
By
jumper.
Robin Lopez and a pure shot right there.
And this
And
is
it
a good
another Magic
timeout by
Steve Clifford.
I'd say he's going to have to use all of his timeouts pretty wisely in this series, as any big Bucks run is going to be a mistake if you're not calling a timeout in between it. Whoa,
it looks like there's a little bit of
Jerry.
technical difficulty there from R. Hayes, our sideline reporter. R. Hayes, can you speak on this?
Oh, it looks
No,
like
it looks like R. Hayes.
wow.
R. Hayes is having some major technical difficulties.
MCW swats it out of nowhere.
Oh, Michael Carter Williams with a major block on Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning MVP.
Wow, and MCW and Giannis used to be teammates, so maybe MCW is giving a little wink there. Wesley Matthews, no good, but Giannis with the
Giannis
rebound.
the board. And he can't get it to go.
Well, it seems like we have a sideline report from our reporter, R. Hayes. R. Hayes, what do you have for us? Nope, it seems like he's still having some
That's
technical
R. Hayes.
difficulties. Wow.
R. Hayes still with the technical difficulties. As Wesley Matthews picks up his first foul, and it looks like Markelle Fultz will be going back to the sideline.
And Markelle Fultz, first free throw is good. All right, and here comes the second free throw from Markelle Fultz. It is also good. Magic cut down the lead from 20-12 to 20-14. Middleton, and that is good. That is what you like to see out of Chris Middleton, the sniper from the three-point line and the mid-range. Here comes Giannis in the fast break. This is a great matchup for Isaac. Is this going to be easily a series he can learn from facing Antetokounmpo? But Wesley Matthews wide open for three. Good.
Oh, and hits it. Puts the Bucks up by 12 early here. Halfway through this second quarter.
You know, you can't ask for much more as the Bucks only had 12 points in that first quarter and already have 14 halfway through.
And after that bucket, we'll hit down to our sideline reporter, R. Hayes, who has some news that he'd like to share. R. Hayes, you're on the clock.
Thanks, Big Game. Before the game, I had a chance to speak with Wesley Matthews, who just came from Portland last year. And I kind of asked him the same thing as last game. What are the keys to winning the series? He straight up told me that, well, frankly, Orlando has no chance in the series. They shouldn't even be in the playoffs. I don't even know why we're playing the series. But I get paid, so what do I care? Back to you, Big Jake.
Wow, thanks for that sideline report. Except we'd like to say here at Mutombo's Popeyes Broadcasting that Wesley Matthews played for the Indiana Pacers last year after he had a torn ACL with the Portland Trailblazers on that contract extension.
We'd like to... We would like to say here, R. Hayes, we'd like you to do a better job reporting as our sideline reporter has had technical difficulties and now with some false information.
Oh,
they
Giannis
made
with the
lob
tip
to
in.
Giannis, and Giannis finishes a 14-point lead for the Bucks here. As our sideline reporter, R. Hayes, will be having a
What's that? I'm
conversation
getting new
after
reports
this first.
that-
Whoa, R. Hayes,
From our
you're off the
fans
clock.
here.
You're off the clock.
I'm not
R.
very happy
Hayes.
with the commentators, especially Bo Spence. He's showing a lot of bias towards the Bucks, and that he needs
Whoa.
to show a little bit of fairness towards Orlando. Back to you, Big
Whoa.
Game.
We showed no bias here.
I'm not
Oh,
showing
he's
any
going to the
bias
line.
Here. We are all for this. Giannis is going to the line after Jonathan Isaac picks up his first foul.
All right, and Giannis at the free throw line. You know, this has been one of the true struggles on his season. Surprisingly, he's a career 72% free throw shooter. Big Game, what do you think has happened the past 2 years as he shot sometimes at this point 50 in the 50% range? How do you think he can fix that going into next season or even the playoffs right now?
Well, what you saw was a couple of years ago, the NBA changed their free throw situation where players could walk back to half court during their free throw and walk back, but they changed that to they can only walk to the three-point line. That affected players like Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, as you've seen both of their free throw percentages go down. So Giannis Antetokounmpo will have to try something or adjust something in his free throw to help him improve his percentage. LeBron James has struggled as a free throw shooter over the last how many years of his career, and it's affected his points per game and obviously some outcomes of games. But it has not hurt LeBron James making it to the finals. So we'll see if that affects the Bucks making it to the finals or not.
Thanks for that great point. And we've seen other players adjust to this, such as Dwight Howard's actually had recent struggles with his free throws. However, this season he's improved greatly by shooting even a foot or two behind the line. It'd be interesting to see what Giannis can do with his. And Dante's struggling here to start in his first playoff
Oh,
experience.
Giannis, another board.
Wow,
First
what
time,
is
another
happening
board by
here?
Giannis.
Oh,
Another
blocked,
pass first
another
time. He's blocked
rebound.
again. Another board. 5 offensive boards here for the Milwaukee Bucks on this possession before halftime.
Wow, it just seems like we're playing some Rec B ball here. Is this going to be another one?
and
No,
another
it
shot,
finally
but that one goes
ends.
to Aaron Gordon.
Wow,
And
the
we'll
Bucks
see
were
a
shooting
half-court heat from
60.
Terrence
Oh,
Ross.
it's good!
Terrence
Oh,
Ross.
my!
Terrence Ross hits a half-court shot before halftime to cut the lead. Wow,
Wow.
what a shot by the Orlando Magic shooting guard. He had a couple of... Oh, wait a second. That was not Terrence Ross. Who was that?
Folks, we want to check in on the stats just to check in who that was. Guys, that was... Oh, actually, we can't
James
be sure.
Ennis. James
It
Ennis.
was James Ennis from
Ennis.
downtown on that
James
half-court
Ennis.
shot.
Cold-blooded.
Well, let's not remember, folks, the Orlando Magic had a few of those deep threes before the quarter ends or halftime ends last year by Terrence Ross, who had a couple threes before the quarter ended and hit a couple of half-court, three-quarter court heaves. So this is not a new trend for the Orlando Magic as they cut the Bucks' lead here before halftime.
Wow, and that possession where the Bucks had 5 offensive rebounds, they were shooting 62% before that. We'll see how much that affected their field goal percentage. Wow, look at that. Their field goal percentage is now below the Orlando Magic due to that one possession. 16 rebounds, almost twice as many as the Magic. The Magic are down by 9 at halftime thanks to that half-court heave, but Giannis has 12 points, 8 rebounds. It's going to be pretty hard for the Magic to come back in this game.
And obviously, like you said, Big Jake, they're almost doubling up on the rebounds, and they did double up on the assists in that first half. If the Orlando Magic want to make a comeback, they're gonna have to try to even out those statistics.
I'm Telly Hughes, and that was your halftime report.
Thanks, Telly. All right, it'll be Bucks ball coming out of the half. Milwaukee leads 32-23 over the Magic. We'll see if the Magic can keep up that momentum after that huge half-court heave by James Ennis. Oh, Giannis is going to say, no good.
And Giannis is fouled by Aaron Gordon. He'll be going to the line.
You know, if there's one player on the Magic that's considered at least at star level, it would be Nikola Vukovic. Have you been disappointed by his first half against the Bucks so far? Or would you blame the coaching staff for not giving him the ball so far?
Well, I'd be more disappointed in Vukovic as Giannis misses that free throw and Vukovic grabs the rebound. Being a star on a team, and Giannis with a quick steal on the other end off of Markel Fultz. If you're Vukovic and being the star of a team, you're gonna have to call for the ball in the post. You have Brook Lopez on you, who's a good center, but you're gonna have to take advantage. Oh, and Lopez pulls up for three, no good. Giannis
I'd
with
just
the
like
board.
to chime in
Giannis
on
with
that
the
a little bit
one-hand
too.
stuff.
With the whole
Thanks,
Vukovic
Hayes. Let's hear
situation,
that.
You gotta put something kind of on John Hammond here. Ever since he's arrived at Orlando, he hasn't done a thing with the Orlando Magic. It's not all on Vukovic. Get him some pieces around him that aren't gonna get hurt or aren't gonna suck. Back to you guys.
Thanks, R. Hayes.
Well, thank you, R. Hayes, for that nice sideline report again after a quick halftime report. Oh, and
And as we say that,
answers R.
Vukovic throws
Hayes'
down a dunk.
throw, and then I slam.
Wow, you'd like to see Brook Lopez try and knock down a three here, but he's not. Oh, he goes off the dribble as I say, drains it! What a jinx by that! Oh, it's almost as if he heard that one. Gee.
What great announcing there by Big Jake as he calls out the Lopez three from miles away. Lopez knocks it down to extend the Bucks lead to 13.
And we're going
and a
the other
turnover.
way. Evan Fournier, what's been
steps
going
out of
on with your
bounds.
dribbling?
He steps out of bounds again. Evan Fournier. Well, in the upcoming schedule, just put an X on that as our man Jerry also screwed up that.
Wait, Brook Lopez, I think he wants one more on this one. We'll see. I think he might. He is!
Oh, he does! Oh!
Oh!
And Lopez misses that three. Oh, man. Vukovic giving Lopez plenty of room to shoot that shot. Okay.
Vukovic is probably going to take this one. We'll see if... Oh, he brings out the fadeaway and misses.
Oh, Lopez grabs the board. Vukovic with a nice move. Couldn't finish.
Oh, another alley-oop pass by Eric
lob.
Bledsoe.
And Giannis finishes an easy lob there from Bledsoe to Giannis. Extends the lead to 15.
You know, and this is just what MVPs do. He's just taking this game easy. He's been getting offensive rebounds, blocks, steals, and making the easy shots. Going to Vukovic almost this whole third quarter, but he cannot hit. Bledsoe with the amazing floater, and it is good. Bucks up 17, 42-25 so far halfway through this third quarter. Wow, Aaron Gordon's dribbling to a double team. Oh, and that foul is called on Eric Bledsoe as he seemed to have reached in on Aaron Gordon.
Fans, get on your feet!
Seems like famous fan, the doctor at the Bucks games, trying to hype up the fans here in Milwaukee as the Bucks are up by 17.
Oh, and Lopez. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Robin Lopez with a
And he heard
one-handed
it from the
slam.
doctor. The fans are going crazy.
As the Orlando Magic defense could not hear anything with the Bucks fans, and they could not switch, and Robin Lopez broke free. Oh, and Kyle Korver's going to pick up his first foul on a reach in there.
During these free throws, we'd like to just give a quick shout out to our Make-A-Wish Foundation Kid of the Game, Devin Meyer. He's been a very strong supporter of the Bucks throughout the years, and it's great to see him back here every year. Back to you guys.
Thanks. Yes, and although he's a Cubs fan, Devin Meyer's always been a great supporter of the stream, and we'd like to thank our fan of the game of the stream. Thanks, R. Hayes.
Make-A-Wish Kid of the Game.
He's both.
What is going on? The Atlanta Magic.
Wow.
As we
The
can't, we
Magic have
cannot
taken
tell
4
whether,
shots.
wow, in the second half, that is not what you like to see. As we'd like to question right now, we hear some Fortnite in the background. We're questioning whether that's the Bucks on their Jumbotron or if that's R. Hayes as the sideline reporter. R. Hayes, can you answer that question for us, please?
Yeah, I can gladly answer that question for you, Big Game. I would never play that game in a million years, and frankly, I'm a little offended that you thought it was me. Back to you, asshole. I mean, Big Game.
Whoa,
Thanks for the report, R.
profanity
Hayes.
language. R. Hayes, you do not need that. That was a simple question. You could answer yes or no. But okay, we'll take that with a grain of salt, and we'll look forward to working with you in the future.
The steal by Vukovic. Evan Fournier going down. Uh-oh, James Ennis.
Oh.
No
and
and
he's
one on
fouled.
that
Oh,
one.
oh, he can't put it in. Marvin Williams picks up his second.
James Ennis misses that second free throw. Here comes Dante, and it is good.
Good. Even Chenzo. Mo Bamba at the three-point line.
You know, you might see Mo Bamba put up a few threes every once in a while. Oh, Vukovic has a mismatch in the post. They're giving it to him with 2 seconds left, and he hits.
Oh, and a nice turnaround post. Post shot right there by Vukovic with a smaller man on him, which is what the Magic should have been doing most of this game.
Yeah, you gotta blame that as well on Steve Clifford. Oh, swatted by Vukovic. He's coming out in the second half.
Oh, and Mo
Uh-oh, we might
Bamba.
be
Mo
seeing a
Bamba
slow
throws it
comeback
down.
here.
Two-handed.
Orlando
Mo
only
Bamba
down
out of
15.
Texas.
As we say that, George Hill finally gets it through for an easy layup. Magic should be looking for one shot here. We'll see who they give it to.
You'd hope they give it to Vukovic here or Evan Fournier in an open three, but we'll see. With how the Magic have been playing, it's any man's game. Oh, it's Mo Bamba down low with the mismatch.
And a nice
And Mo
layup
Bamba
over Pat
finishes.
Connaughton.
Cuts the lead to 15 here.
George Hill.
George Hill.
Close one, but no
Oh,
good.
Cannot get that to go. We've already had one of those this game, folks, but we could not get another one. We're headed to the fourth quarter with the Magic down 15.
And we are back from the Fiserv Forum as we have our State Farm assist to the game. Bledsoe's been throwing some great alley-oops, but this one early in the first quarter was by far the best. A two-handed jam by Giannis Antetokounmpo. Bucks currently up 50-35. We'll see if the Magic have some magic in them to come back out of this one.
You get to
Ooh,
Vukovic down
Vukovic,
low.
tough shot. Oh, but he gets
Takes
the
a tough shot.
rebound.
Oh,
It's
nice
good.
board.
I think it's
and
going to
puts it
take a
back
little bit
in.
more than magic to get back into this one, Big Jake.
Hey, at this point, the Bucks probably gonna hold on to this one, but it'll probably take a miracle, maybe a half-court shot like we already saw in this one. Uh-oh, Ursan.
Oh, Ursan
No
a three.
good.
He can't get to go. Evan Fournier with the rebound, and the Magic look to cut it to 10 here.
Aaron Gordon. Oh, one-handed
down-
over
oh, Aaron
Dante.
Gordon throws it down with Ursan on his back. Cuts the lead to 11 as the Magic are on a little bit of a run here to start the fourth quarter.
Quick
And the
timeout
Bucks with
by
a
head
quick
coach
timeout.
Mike Budenholzer. He's not happy with this run by the Magic.
It'll be interesting to see how long it will take to either bring back in Chris Middleton or Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And if you're the Bucks, you'd like to see something similar to last year against the Pistons, where they pretty much easily swept them besides one game in that series due to Blake Griffin's injury. They didn't really have to play Giannis, Middleton, or Bledsoe late in the fourth quarter, and you'd like to see that to continue against the Magic.
Well, and as you hear, Mike Budenholzer made the change and brought back Giannis after that quick
But
4-0
Brook
run by the
Lopez
Magic.
Cannot hit the three, but Giannis, another
Giannis
offensive
with a
board,
push
and the
up.
basket
and
is
one.
good.
And one. Markel Fultz picked up his first foul. And he leaps over Giannis. I believe that was Dante DiVincenzo, a little hyped up as the Pfizer Forum is sitting down after they were on their feet for a little bit after that nice offensive board and one opportunity for Giannis Antetokounmpo, who drains
And
the
he
free
hits
throw
the
on the
free
three-point
throw.
play.
All right, this is going to be an important run here for the Magic. Threes are going to be the key, or some steals on defense if they want any chance. Terrence Ross, no foul, but he still
nice
makes
finish
it.
by Terrence Ross right there. Nice finish. Terrence Ross has been a weapon offensively ever since his Toronto Raptors days. Never has been a great defender, has always been a freak athlete and a great three-point shooter, which is why, as Big Jake said before, the Magic extended him with a nice extension this offseason, as Brook Lopez misses that three, and the Magic have the ball.
Wow, and if you look at that, 1 for 5 from threes. Lopez has struggled this year from the three-point line compared to last year. If he wants to continue to perform well, he's going to have to just keep lighting it up.
I'm just reading now our Twitter question of the night comes from the user XXDoobieDuborg XX, and he writes in saying, "Are you guys surprised at all that the Bucks have not decided to re-sign Malcolm Brogdon?"
Well, on that question, R. Hayes, and we'd like to thank XX Doobie-Doo-Borg on that one. It's a great question. You know, we weren't too mad about the Malcolm Brogdon deal, as John Horst, the new GM of the Milwaukee Bucks after John Hammond left for the Orlando Magic, made some great acquisitions, such as Wesley Matthews, who came from the Pacers, and Robin Lopez, who's also signed a veteran's minimum. Bringing the Lopez brothers together was a great move. And having Dante off the bench and George Hill are great moves that allow them to have more playing time. And Malcolm Brogdon really just needed some place where he could score more, and with Giannis Antetokounmpo, it would have been tougher for the future.
Speaking
Well,
of
I
the bench,
believe
I'm
Malcolm-
surprised we haven't seen any of
Whoa,
DJ
R.
Wilson
Hayes,
tonight.
let me put in my piece. Well, let's calm down here. As the other commentator, I'd like to pitch in my piece on Malcolm Brogdon, please.
Yes, thank
very
you,
much.
Big Game.
In my opinion, Malcolm Brogdon would have been re-signed for the right price for the Milwaukee Bucks. But obviously, the Pacers gave Malcolm Brogdon a lot of money, 4 years, $80 million, and the Bucks were not willing to give him that kind of money, especially with Giannis Antetokounmpo's extension
Another offensive
coming up
rebound here.
and another board for Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I believe.
So what kind of money would have you given him then?
Well, okay, let me finish my statement, R. Hayes. Let's calm down. I would also like to say we also filled Malcolm Brogdon's holes very, very well.
Bless
Oh,
you.
make sure you put a mask on that one.
Yes, my mask is on. We do not need mask off by future. In reality, we've filled Malcolm Brogdon's holes with great weapons, and the Milwaukee Bucks are still the 1 seed and have had a better record than
We
they
do
did
not
last
condone
year.
the use of weapons on this stream.
All right, Hayes, I'd like to kick it back to you on what you're going to say as I finished up my statement on the Malcolm Brogdon situation.
All I have to say is we don't condone the use of weapons on this podcast. I mean this stream,
Oh,
not
he
podcast,
would have said
of course.
what was the
But
right
if you would like
price
to
you would have
tune
paid
into our
Malcolm
podcast,
Brogdon?
We do go live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7 to 9 a.m.
Price I would have paid for Malcolm Brogdon. Obviously, they gave him 4 years, $80 million. I would have gave him 4 years, around 64 to 68 million.
Interesting. Do you think injuries have
I think
anything to
that's
go
still
into that, though?
That's still
I-
too stupid.
Oh, Terrence Ross! Oh, no,
my.
he is
Terrence
posterized.
Posterized, and he is mad. Terrence Ross better watch out for a possible T here, as Giannis just threw the ball down on his head. A complete facial by Giannis Antetokounmpo. Are you kidding me? Are you
That might be
kidding
our
me?
dunk of the
As
weekend so far.
The Bucks are up 20 here with a minute 52 left in this
I'm getting word
fourth
from
quarter
Mutombo's
in game one.
Popeye's truck that this game is in fact over.
Please give us the GGs in the chat. Thank you very much. Cannot hit the free throw, though.
As you hear the Pfizer Forum cheering MVP for the possible MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You know, you just can't doubt it. As we said earlier in the show, he's a no-doubt MVP for this season, and he's about to prove it. If he can reach the finals, let's see if he can win the finals MVP as well. Wow, and here comes a double team already. Yeah, it seems way too late in this ball game to bring that out for Steve Clifford.
I would not be surprised if there's another dead ball or timeout that Giannis Antetokounmpo is taken out of this game. Giannis may have to pull the trigger on this deep jumper. Cannot get to go. Not really Giannis' shot right there, but obviously, like you said, a little too late for the Magic to be playing this kind of defense.
You know, this is another mistake that we saw in that Pacers Heat game. Why are the starters still out there right now in a 20-point game? You'd like to see to rest them late in the fourth quarter. Maybe even call a timeout to take them out. But that's a loss on both sides.
Oh, a nice board by Vukovic, and Vukovic finishes.
And Bucks fans seem to be on their feet cheering their team on after a huge win. 61-43 is the score right now. It seems like this will be the last possession of the game. Bledsoe with the floater, no good.
Cannot get to go.
We'll see if Orlando hangs on to this ball for the, oh no, looks like they're going to take the shot.
Oh.
We'll see if the Bucks take that one personally. Nope. Seems like they'll just dribble it out.
And the Bucks will end up here with a 16-point victory over the Orlando Magic in Game 1 in the final game of a Round 1 matchups for Game 1s. Tomorrow night we will have 4 more games in the Game 2s that we played previously yesterday night. We've had some great matchups here tonight, and I'd like to get back to Big Jake before we start our post-game show.
Thanks, Big Game. And after we had that 61-45 finish here at Pfizer Forum, I'd like to take a look at our box score. On the Bucks side, obviously the MVP showed out in Game 1. Offensive rebounds were the story for his day, as on one possession he had over 4 offensive rebounds, and he ended with 22 points, 14 rebounds in 6-minute quarters. Unbelievable job by the MVP. Brook Lopez, even with 1 for 5 on shooting, still ends up as the second leading scorer. And the fact that you're winning by 16, and where's Chris Middleton on this list? He's taken 1 shot in 16 minutes.
Wow.
What do you think about this big game?
That is surprising to see a blowout victory like this with your second leading scorer and a all-star player, Chris Middleton, taking 1 shot. Something I'd like to point out, though, Eric Bledsoe, 5 assists. That is big in these 6-minute quarters to get your teammates involved. And obviously, Brook Lopez, although he shot 1 of 5 from 3, contributed 7 points and 4 rebounds. That helped the Bucks get this big victory.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong with how the Bucks play in this one.
Excuse me, Big Jake, I'm talking. I'd just like to point out that Wesley Matthews, prior to the game, did mention that this would not be a series. And as you saw tonight, this is not going to be a series.
Thanks for that
Well,
point,
Hayes,
Hayes.
as much as we like to attribute your point to this, there's still possibly 4 more games left in this.
Left in this series.
We would not like to talk
Oh.
about possible sweeps unless they are a threat. Obviously, this is a threat, but this is NBA
Even
2K.
Orlando's getting the brooms out. You know that's true.
Let's calm down. Big Jake, let's go to the Bucks and yes, the Magic. Thank you. Obviously, Vukovic led the team with 11 points and 6 rebounds on 5 of 8 shooting. You'd like to have seen him get a little bit more, a few more shots here in the first half to keep it close before it got into a blowout. Jonathan Isaac and Aaron Gordon contributed 7 and 6 apiece on a combined 6 of 11 shooting. But the rest of the team did not do much. Evan Fournier, 1 of 5 shooting. And obviously James Ennis had that one half-court heave 3, which contributed to his only bucket of the game. But back to you, Big Jake. I don't know what else to say about the Orlando Magic other than you have to just look ahead to the next game and hope that it comes out a different outcome.
Yeah, you really have to come out strong with Vukovic in the post-up. Although Brook Lopez is one of the strongest defenders in the paint, you got to keep going to him. All right, that should do it from Milwaukee as the Bucks take
Actually,
this
I
one
have one more comment to
61-45. All right, R. Hayes, let's hear it.
You guys were talking about how the Magic just need to move on to the next game, but this loss is single-handedly on John Hammond. All right, he still has not put the pieces in place. He's had 4 years to get his his stuff together, and frankly, he just can't do it. I don't know how he's still the GM of the Orlando Magic. I frankly don't know how he has a job. All right. At
Wow,
the end of the day,
R.
you
Hayes.
can't be this bad. Can you not cut me off, all right? At the end of the day, you can't be this bad at your job, all right? I don't know how you still got a job, John Hammond, but consider yourself lucky. Back to you, Big Jake.
Thanks, R. Hayes. Well, it looks like we might be having to look at Chuck Hayes, R. Hayes' brother, for future games in this Magic Bucks series, as there's a lot of bias. But this one ends 61-45. Thanks for all of our viewers, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good night.